and welcome back to Own Your Peace. I'm your host, Andy Thewison, and today I want to share something that at first made me laugh, but then as I kind of sat with it where it just wouldn't leave me, something really unlocked and I understood something on a new level. And I want to share that with you today. So, first, the share. I was watching, I think it was on TikTok or YouTube, can't remember. But, anyways, it was the new Dunkin' commercial with Jen Affleck. So, if you're not familiar with the whole Secret Lives of Mormon Wives, Jen Affleck is on the show. And on the show, she believes that she's related to Ben Affleck. It has been disclaimed she actually isn't. But in this commercial, it's for their new discount deal menu. And she goes on the commercial and is explaining that she's the discount Affleck. That, if you want a good deal, you hire me, not my cousin Ben. And it's silly, it's tongue in cheek, it's really clever. And then, we see Ben driving through the drive-through and he's like, what's going on? These are my commercials. But anyways, that's the concept. It's really cute. But on a deeper level, in what ways do we do that to ourselves? We discount ourselves. We become the bargain version of something outside of ourselves, of someone who's better than us. And we give them this superiority over ourselves. Have you ever caught yourself doing that? That's what I want to talk about. We do this on a subconscious level. We shrink, we soften, or we perform a cheaper version of our inner power so that we'll be liked, accepted, or not seen as too much. We're going to break down how you're discounting yourself of your worth, why it happens, and how to shift back into the energy we're all meant to be at, because we're all of this level, because we're all one and the same. That premium energy, that Gucci, that Louis Vuitton energy that we truly all are meant to emanate. But we do this to ourselves. Let's talk about the discount archetype, the discount self, and what that means. What does it mean to discount yourself? It's saying yes when you mean no, because you think you're not worthy or available for anything else. So you take what's given without a second thought. You downplay your accomplishments and make yourself look small, as opposed to really celebrating what you have achieved and being proud of what you've been able to accomplish. When we're proud of what we accomplish, we give other people permission to be proud as well. But when we continue to downplay, other people feel like they need to downplay as well. But these are ways that we can be in that discount energy, settling for less, whether that be in relationships, in our money situation, or even our creative visibility. We discount ourselves, dimming our weirdness, our intuition, our sensuality to fit the mold. We live in a very conditionalistic and program heavy society where we are meant to fit into this one way of being. And if you're outside that one way of being, life gets shady, life gets weird, like you're not accepted as much. Things are shifting and changing for sure. We are starting to have this awareness and opening to really truly honoring those who are authentic. And there is becoming a premium for authenticity. Jen Affleck is also on Dancing with the Stars. And one of the other dancers on this season, I love watching the show with my daughter and my husband. We all kind of watch it together on Tuesday nights as our thing. It's a whole night and we love it. But there's this one gal, she got voted off this week. And if you watch the show, you know exactly who I'm talking about. It's Hilaria Baldwin. And for the life of me, I couldn't understand why. I just didn't like her. She just didn't register with me. And she's pretty, she's very talented, she was a good dancer, but her energy to me, maybe you picked up on this as well, is it felt really performative. It didn't feel authentic. It didn't feel genuine. It felt like she was putting on a show and portraying a version of herself that was palatable, that was acceptable, or so she thought. It just didn't feel like it reeked of authenticity when you compare it to like Robert Irwin and some of the other dancers on the show this season. It just feels flat. And I think that's why there was the backlash with her and why there was so much online animosity towards her, is because we are becoming more and more sensitive to BS. to fakeness, and we're not here for it anymore. We see right through it. And I think that is what part of her downfall on the show was, is that she was showing up in a version of herself that she thought she could sell. And it's not her authentic self. That's just my 2 cents. I'd love to hear what you thought and what you tapped into when you watched the show. But I feel like that's what we do. We start to downplay ourselves, or we hide pieces of ourselves. And, at the same time, go on this concept of we discount ourselves, we cheapen ourselves so that we fit the mold. And let's be honest here. There is a hidden exhaustion of maintaining an image, of holding what we think everybody wants us to be. And that pays a price. It weighs on us, and it's going to start showing up in other areas of your life. There's this internal dissonance, the sale price self that is socially approved, but soulfully you're bankrupt. And we're going to start seeing that weigh on us more and more as we step into these higher frequencies that don't have space for fakeness. They don't have space for anything but authenticity. And so I want you to take a minute and kind of weigh this all out in your mind. Think about how this is showing up in your life. Where are you discounting yourself? Where are those questions I asked hitting you? Sit with that for just a second, and then I'm going to invite reflection here. Where have you been living in the clearance aisle of your own potential? We all do it, myself included. We sit there because we think that we need to be something that the world expects of us, or we need to be a price point that the world expects of us. And it's not in harmony with who we truly are. Let's get into it. Let's unpack why we do it. Why do we feel like we need to discount ourselves? Let's bring some depth to it. Let's look at the psychology, the nervous systeming, and the spiritual conditioning around why we do this thing, where we discount ourselves, where we make ourselves small, where we feel like we need to downplay and placate to fit in. Let's look at the nervous system. Discounting is a safety response. The body associates visibility, power, authenticity with danger, rejection, judgment, and loss of belonging. We talked a lot about that in last week's episode. It's that stepping outside of a comfort zone when we're in our full authenticity. Will we be judged? Will we be ostracized by our tribe? Those are on a deep nervous system level because those things have been passed down from generation to generation. Okay, let's look at the programming layer here. There's a whole level of cultural, of a religious conditioning that teaches that humility is a way to visibility. Oh, if I'm just humble and submissive and I show up as this soft person, and that's going to be more palatable. Okay, I'm all for being humble. Be humble, be kind, all those things, but also own your worth. Know that you have a seat at any table and you are powerful beyond measure. You can still be powerful and be humble. There's a good way to land between that. But when you are making yourself meek and powerless, that's not humility. Keep that in mind, especially in the feminine and service-oriented roles. Worth becomes tied to how small or manageable you are. The feminine energy is massive. It's strong. I mean, we could do a whole episode about how the feminine energy has been downplayed and tried to beaten into submission over generations. That's not the topic of this discussion, but think about how that does that on that programming layer. And even the masculine, how really true divine masculine energy is downplayed. We need to be the hero. We need to be the tough guy. We need to like put on this tough exterior where I tell you what to do, woman. That's not true masculinity. That's not healed and healthy masculinity. That's toxic masculinity. True masculinity is here to support and to love and to cherish and protect and hold space. True femininity and true feminine energy knows her power. She knows her strength. She also knows her softness and her flow and her receptivity. Together, when we're in these energy, there's no discount there. So how do we do that? What's the cost what's the cost of us staying in this discount energy? the cost of staying on sale. It's going to cause burnout. It's going to cause resentment. It's going to cause a loss of your magic. Relationships that don't meet you where you are because you've trained people to expect your discounted version. The way you treat yourself is a reflection of how you expect others to treat you. So if you are not treating yourself really, really well, and treating yourself like the luxurious, most elevated version of yourself, where you're treating yourself well, you're taking true care of yourself. You're showing and reflecting to everyone else how they should treat you. So treat yourself like the luxury item that you are, because you truly are. All of us are. And that's the really powerful thing that you can do. Being in that discount sales energy causes creative stagnation. The body won't channel premium downloads when you're running a big bargain basement energy. If you're really truly trying to connect to the source of all things, the divine intelligence of creative force energy, that is the most luxurious, highest end, most abundant energy on this planet. But if you're timid, if you're shy, if you're feeling like you're not worthy, you're less than the source of all things, which is truly who you are, let's be honest, it's going to be really hard to connect to that energy and receive the most highest level of downloads. I truly believe no matter where you are at, Source wants to talk to you. Source has information for you. Divine intelligence has beautiful intel for you. It wants to work with you so deeply. It wants to be a part of you because you are a part of it. But if you're trying to get to a next level, remember we talked about that breaking through that next level with your nervous system last week. This is another layer of that, is allowing yourself to elevate your frequency, your vibration, your allowance to a higher level, because that's going to take you to a higher level of creative energy where you can tap into a higher level of that collective cloud. There's this gap between how you show up and who you really are. If how you're showing up and who you really are, if there's a disconnect there, people are going to feel it. They're energetically going to be a little turned off by you. They're going to be a little bit, I'm trying to think of the word, repelled by you, because they're going to feel the dissonance. So if you're trying to put yourself out there as a luxury item, or you're trying to sell your programs, but you're discounting them, or you're putting them on sale, or you're in this energy of lack and scarcity, then sadly, I've learned this myself, people. Like, I'm not trying to preach something I don't know on a very real and real life basis. When you start to honor your true energy, when you start to honor your worth, you raise your prices to reflect that. You raise your energy to reflect that. Things shift and change. And it's powerful. And it is something that sometimes you have to learn the hard way. Raising my hand here. But that's the difference, is when you can raise your energetic level to meet what you want for yourself, things shift, things change. That's how and that's the cost of staying on sale, is you're going to stay in that scarcity level. And it's easy to do. So many of us have grown up in very true poverty and true lack and less than. Like, I remember in high school going to school and looking around at all these beautiful girls around me who had the fancy, they had the cute hair, and they had the cute clothes and the right backpack, and they had the right car, and feeling so less than as I looked around at all these girls that seemed to have everything. Were they any better than me at the end of the day? Absolutely not. And some of them are beautiful people that I, still connect with. And it's actually, created friendships with some of these girls after high school that I never thought I would have. But that was a more of reflection of me and how I had felt like I was less than because of my, socioeconomical status in the world. It didn't have anything to do with my actual worth. So, where have you, because of your societal programming, where maybe you grew up in a family that was less than, or maybe even you grew up around wealth, but your family had conditions tied to your wealth where you felt like you had to show up a certain way to have access? That can happen too. So, where in your story have you had to discount yourself or make yourself feel small, or that's what the world was telling you, that you were white trash, that you were less than? All these things that we hear that aren't absolutely true. Every single one of us is some of the one. Every single one of us is a piece of the master. And we are all of the same worth. Nobody is less than, nobody is more than. We all have this beautiful, luxurious energy that we have access to. And that's who, at the end of the day, that's who we truly are. So, how do we reclaim that? How do we call that energy back? And it's happens through healing and embodiment. We have to reframe our worth as a part of our nervous system practice. We need to understand safety and boundaries, embodiment and visibility work. We have to realize, again, this is such a perfect episode to have after last week's episode, because it goes back to like, I'm safe. It's safe for me to be seen. It's safe for me to be a bigger, higher frequency and vibration of myself. I can hold more. I don't have to be this discount clearance version of myself anymore. It's safe for me to rise up and be my truest, authentic self, to step into more, to hold more. And it's going to be boundaries of like, you know what? I'm no longer going to give parts of myself away for free. I'm no longer going to discount things. I'm no longer going to offer my services at a certain price, or I'm no longer going to put up with less than in my relationships. I'm going to require premium energy back because that's what I'm willing to give within my relationships. I need you to understand that you are the price. When you're doing the work and you truly are really in a space of understanding of your true worth, which is that you are magnificent and magical and powerful, you're the prize. So you have to understand that people having access to you is a gift. And Taylor Swift mentioned it in her interview when she was unveiling her album. Your energy is your greatest resource. Treat it as a luxury item. Not everyone is going to have access to it. When we come from that place, things shift and change. You have to treat yourself and your energy, which is your highest, greatest resource in this life, is your frequency. It is your vibration. It is your energy, your life force creative energy. Whether you be a generator or a reflector, your energy is your magic. How you use your energy shows the universe what to reflect back to you. So if you're putting your energy out there and wasting it and leaking it into things that are of no concern to you, or you're leaking it into things that feel icky or unaligned, and you're resentful or bitter or frustrated with the way that you're sending your energy, or even angry or disappointed, like I see how I hit all those different little guidelines within human design. If you're feeling any of those things, you're using your energy incorrectly. I know immediately, as soon as I start to feel bitter or resentful about the way that I use my energy, it's time to call it back. It is time to be like, okay, cool, cool, cool. That's not lighting me up anymore. It feels like a chore. It feels resentful. I just like the energy's not there for me anymore. Call it back. Like I said, your energy is your greatest resource. So it is okay to call it back, to put things down, to say no to things that no longer are there for you. I feel like sometimes because of loyalty, because that's just the way that it's always been done. That's just the way that it is, that we stay in things longer or we hold on to things longer than we should. So if you're a generator and a manifesting generator, and you are just thinking about something in your experience just wears you out, that's a sure sign to let that thing go. It's okay if you paid a bunch of money for it. It's okay if you invested a lot of time into it. Put it down because I guarantee you the energy that comes back from that thing that you put down is going to help you step into something that does light you up and creates more energy because you just basically called back a whole bunch of energy and redeposited it into your bank account energetically. So that's really important to remember. Your energy is your greatest resource. And if you're constantly treating it like a discounted item, like it's for sale, it's free, all these things, it's a discount basement level, that's what's going to be reflected back to you in your experience. Okay. So that's where that safety, those boundaries, the embodiment of really truly stepping into and understanding, acknowledging, and living as if you're a luxury item. You know, we can even go back a couple more episodes where we talked about identity and stepping into an identity. Now we're stepping into the identity of that I am a luxury item. I am a luxurious energy. Not everyone's going to be able to have access to me, and that's okay because the ones who do are going to walk away forever changed because I'm at a higher level. I'm showing up at a different level. That's so important to keep in mind as you are creating whatever it is that you're creating, whatever you're doing in this lifetime. That's why at the end of the day, we have these beautiful tools like human design, gene keys, and astrology, and they help, guide us back. But your energy, your connection to the divine is your greatest resource and your greatest navigational tool. So that's why the embodiment is so powerful. And visibility work, allowing yourself to be seen, allowing yourself to not dim your shine, to discount yourself, not be showing up as the discount version of yourself. You're not the discount Affleck. You're the full embodied superstar version of yourself. Okay. Now let's talk about some rituals and tools as we're stepping into this newer, luxurious energy. Here's a journal prompt for you. Where am I offering a discount out of fear? Again, that's another really big source of discounting ourselves is our fear. Well, if you know, only people will buy from me if I have it at a discount price, or only will people will buy if I do a sale. Again, where is that disconnect for yourself? Come back to it. Where is that fear? Is it scarcity? Is that the fear of it? Or are you just doing it because it feels aligned to do a sale? If you feel joyful about doing a sale and it feels good to you, then do a sale. I'm not saying that you can't do these things, but look at the energy behind it. Is the energy behind it scarcity? Is it lack? Is it fear? If it's those things, then take a step back. But if it's like, I really want to give my services and I want to make it available a little bit more right now, pay attention to the energetics behind things because energy, again, is our greatest resource, but it also tells us where we're at energetically. It tells us where we're playing, what playing field we're in. So always get really curious when you are in a certain energy. Why are you there? What's the real reason behind it? What's the real energy behind it? Here's a beautiful daily affirmation for you to step into. My full presence is priceless. Ooh, I love that. My energy, my full presence is priceless. My energy is luxurious. Another way to really anchor this in as a ritual is to create a symbolic act. Raise your energetic prices in one area this week. Say no when you really want to. Honor your no's. If you said no and someone keeps coming at you, stand in your energy and hold your no. Honor your energy for the luxurious item that it is. Charge more. Raise your prices. I always want you to sit with your pricing. If it feels like the energetic exchange is not equal with the way that you're pricing your things, sit with it. If it's right, it'll feel good. It'll feel expansive. It'll feel like the right price. If you're charging too much, which a lot of people will do just because they feel like that's the way to get this luxurious energy, I'm just going to charge an exorbitant amount. That will get me at that luxurious energy. That's not the way either. Because again, that also is out of fear. If you're charging too much, it's going to feel icky. It's going to feel salesy. It's going to be like, ooh, like it's not going to feel good. And only you know what's right for you. And if you're charging too little, you're going to feel maybe a little bitter, a little resentful if you're not charging enough. with your pricing. So sit with things, sit with different prices. Another really great tool when you're considering pricing for your products or your services, I love muscle testing. I connect to my higher self and I ask the question, I'm like, higher self, show me a yes, show me a no. You can't really see this on a podcast. I have a video on my Instagram that I did a while ago that walks you through muscle testing. I'll put that in the show notes so you can see me physically showing you how to muscle test. But that's a really great tool too, is using muscle testing to tap in with your higher self to what feels right. But again, energetically, how do you feel? Does it feel good? Oh, that feels like when I receive that money, it's going to feel like that feels good to receive that. I feel like I gave at that higher level. I feel like my time was valued. If it's too much, it's going to feel icky. It's going to feel like you cheated people. Or if it's too little, you're going to feel resentful. So that's kind of how you can see where you play. Speak up. Allow yourself to be more visible. Allow yourself to be the quirky, weird, wonderful human that you are. Allow yourself to shine. Stop dimming your light to fit in. And again, we're really stepping into this beautiful new energy of authenticity, being the greatest asset you have. So stop trying to be the discount version of someone else and be the true luxurious version of yourself. That's where your real magic is. Okay, let's talk about a practical tie-in. I know we talked about a lot of really kind of more esoteric topics here of energy. How do we balance authenticity with vulnerability and show up being real without oversharing or self-erasing? That's a really big thing because sometimes we can show up in authenticity and being vulnerable, but it's actually just like trauma dumping. And we're not truly like actually standing in our power. We're not actually standing in our true magic. We're just showing up with in our messy house and, oh, I'm so authentic because look at all this that I'm showing you that I shouldn't show you because society tells me not to. Is that truly authentic? Yes, show everybody all versions of yourself, but are you using it as a ploy? That's a really good question to ask yourself. Am I playing a game to be authentic? I see this in social media trends all the time. Like I have, all these really beautiful women showing up who are like fitness influencers who have all these ab pictures and, that's what they're portraying. But then you'll see them, oh, here's a side picture of me with my pouch. And like they're showing this as vulnerability. But, energetically, you're going to feel if that's true vulnerability, or you're going to feel like it's a play and it's just another way for them to it doesn't feel authentic. And you can see right through it because again, it's a trend. We're stepping on this. So truly check yourself. Check yourself before you wreck yourself. I'm just kidding. I had to say it. 90s kid here. Really, truly, like be vulnerable, be open, be true, be authentic, but don't do it from a place of performative. Because I think a lot of times we see these trends that are, here to be authentic, but they can become performative. Always the best thing I can say is before you share, before you put yourself out there, really tap in, ground within your energy, and open up your heart. Open up your connection to the divine and allow yourself to truly share from an open heart, an open connection to the divine, because that's going to feel a whole lot different than following trends of authenticity or vulnerability. Yes, vulnerability is a beautiful thing. And I really do feel like more people need to be a little bit more vulnerable. And, I do share parts of myself that are vulnerable here on the podcast that are kind of scary to share. But I do it in a way that I hope helps, that helps you see that I'm not perfect. Far from it. I never said that you're following the perfect person on this podcast. And if you've listened to me long enough, I'm not. I never said I was. But I'm going to show up. I'm going to be vulnerable. I'm going to be authentic. I'm going to share versions of myself that I feel like are going to help you step into more vulnerability and more authenticity. And so you feel more comfortable doing so because the more real I can be, the more authentic I can be without the oversharing and the trauma dumping and all the things where it's more performative. We're all here to help each other level up. We're all here to hold each other's hands and to walk each other home. Okay. See how that can feel different? I really want you to sit with the energies of the things that we're talking about because everything I say on this podcast has a way of being used and manipulated in a new and different way. So even this luxurious energy, this Louis Vuitton energy that I want you to envelop, even that can be twisted and manipulated, in sales and things like that. So I want you to really understand that when we have an open heart, when we're fully connected to our divine intelligence, God, universal intelligence, whatever you want to call it, it's the same energy. We all know this. It's that true love that flows through this planet more than anything. When we're in that energy and we're truly coming from a place of service and not about ourselves, but helping those around us, when we're in that sweet spot, it doesn't matter how we portray ourselves. We're in a place of service, of opening hearts, opening up minds, and sharing of ourselves in that deeper way. That right there is going to elevate your energy more than just being like, oh, I'm on a plane. I'm dripping look at me in my bag. It feels icky, some of these performative things. But truly, my friend, you're magical. You are luxurious. You are powerful beyond measure. Own it. And really, truly, always come back to self. Always come back to what your true power, which is you, and truly connect to your angels, your guides, your team. There's so many things around you wanting to support you on your way. And remember, integration comes through self-trust and compassion. That is the real message here is trust and honor. Give yourself compassion and treat yourself as the most luxurious, high-end name brand version of yourself. You're not a knockoff. You're not a bargain basement. You are not a value, what is it? Bargain Affleck. You are the one and only you on this planet. Embrace it, love it, cherish it, have so much compassion for yourself. Much love, and I'll see you next week.